yes. If that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what does. That's going to be an amazing concert coming to the Hard Rock Live out there in Wheatland on April 4th. You can check out Trivium. These guys are going to be awesome. I mean, when you see something like this, you know that you're in for a real treat. Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine. These guys are going to be co-headlining coming up, as I mentioned, at the Hard Rock. All right, let's bring in right now. We got to bring in the man, Matt Heafy. There he is right now from Trivium. Good to see you, man. Yes, anytime I can do this, it's cool. How are you?
Great to see you.
I'm
doing fantastic. We've just done the first show last night. It was insane. And we just got back from Europe as well, which was the biggest and best European tour we've ever done. This tour is celebrating 20 years of our second record. So seeing that video footage, like, man, I had some good hair back then. But it's nuts. 26 years into the band for me, and 20 years in this Ascendancy record. It was the biggest, best European tour. We had 16,000 people in London, 14,000 in Birmingham, 14,000 in Manchester. It's been a dream come true.
That is so cool that you get a chance, obviously. I mean, you guys are a huge band. You've been around. You're celebrating 20 years for this album. But playing over in Europe, is that crowd, I always like to ask artists that. Is it different from here in the States, the crowd?
What's interesting is, as far as the Trivium crowd goes, they're pretty much the same level of awesomeness across the planet. But with our band, we've blown up in different territories with different albums. Record 1 didn't have any fans. Record 2, the UK fell in love with us, and we got all the awards, all the sold-out shows, all the sold-out everything. Germany, we didn't get to our 4th record. Australia was our... Australia was our 4th record, Germany was our 5th record, and the US was kind of our 6th, 7th record. So every single territory is blown up at a different time with a different album of ours, which is interesting.
That's so cool. All right, this one now we get a treat because people who know Ascendancy and they love that album, you're going to play every song off that album here in the US, right? When you're touring?
Yes. Yes, and what's cool about Ascendancy is I believe the biggest reactions that it had back 20 years ago and the highest sales were actually North America and the United Kingdom. So we've been seeing the biggest, like last night, Vancouver was absurd. And I know that the US is going to be insane too, because we never actually did an Ascendancy tour back 20 years ago in America. We did several in the UK, but we basically released Ascendancy, blew up in the UK, came back, and we're told, okay, you can do your next record. So we never really got to properly headline on Ascendancy in America. So now we're doing that. And, we're never sure, because with a 20-year-old record, like, who knows the deepest cuts of it? And last night, Vancouver, they were singing even every single word of every single song. We were in Lisbon, Portugal was the last show, or Lisbon and Madrid were the last 2 shows of the European run. The crowd weren't just singing the lyrics, they were singing every guitar part. So half the crowd was singing the guitar parts, while the other half was singing the lyrics. It was insane. So we've been having an amazing time.
Yeah, that is so cool. That's got to make you feel awesome that, this is your music, this is what you write, this is what you play, and then you've got people in the audience that know this stuff. Like you said, some of the deepest cuts that they may not have known before, but they do know. That's got to make you feel good.
It's such an amazing record. It's such an amazing feeling because it's a record that I wrote when I was like 16, 17 years old. I actually joined this band when I was 12 and a half. So it's my first band, first job, and it's all I've ever done. And I truly love it. And this year, I've been touring for 20-something, 25 years. This year has been the most fun I've ever had in a tour ever. And I can confidently say that we are the best live band we've ever been. So people are really in for a treat with this one.
Oh, yeah, we got to get out to the Hard Rock. All right, you mentioned 12 and a half. Orlando is where you guys are from. Is the whole band from there? How did it get started?
I was originally born in Iwakuni, Japan. My dad's a Marine. My mom is from Japan, so they met there. We moved away from Japan when I was 1. So Japan, San Diego, over to Coral Springs, Florida, Arlington Heights, Illinois, back to Orlando, Florida. So Orlando since I was 11. Trivium when I was 12 and a half, I joined. Paulo, our bass player, joined in 2004. He's originally from Pompano Beach, Florida. Corey, our guitar player, is from Dover, Foxcroft, Maine, and he was going to Full Sail University and was a fan of our band locally, tried out, joined in 2003, and our drummer's been in since 2016. So kind of all over, but we all live within 10 minutes of each other now in Orlando. We own an airplane hangar, which is pretty sick, and that's our headquarters. So we just finished a state-of-the-art studio inside our hangar. So we have an airplane hangar. Inside of it's a studio. It's got like an upstairs room that we can stream our rehearsals from. We can write and jam from. All our storage stuff is down below. It's a very special place. So when we do our next record, we'll record it fully in our own hangar and our own studio.
Okay, you've just gotten cooler in my eyes. I mean, I don't even understand. That's just the coolest thing ever. You got your own plane hanger. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, I didn't have tickets, but I think I can get myself in. I'm going on the 4th. I got to be there. I got to see this.
Tickets on me. So get my contact from Amy. Hit me up, and I got you covered.
This is unbelievable. All right.
You have to. I insist.
All right, I'm gonna take you up on that one. And if I don't, I'll find my way in either way. All right. Before I let you go, is there any sort of pre-game routine ritual that you do? Because I know your fans watch you, and you're in great shape. You do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You're part of all that kind of stuff. Is there something you eat before a show? Something you don't eat? Tell us that.
I do so much. Okay, so I'm known as the regimented guy, so every single thing I do is very regimented. I started streaming on this because I was telling you about I wish I had my better camera set up, but I started streaming on this platform called Twitch basically 8 years ago, twitch.tv/Matt Heafy. So I have my own broadcast studio / recording studio in this office structure I built in the back of our house. So since then, I've streamed 5 days a week. I stream my rehearsals every single day. Basically, when I'm off tour, it's 5 to 7 days a week, 1 to 4 hours a day of singing, screaming, guitar playing, no matter what. Even if I just got home from tour, I like to treat Trivium and what I do as if I'm an athlete, more an athlete than a musician. I talk about the reps of always keeping everything conditioned. So if I had to go on tour in a day, I could pull that off. As far as the show day, yeah, I make sure I was definitely under eating for a couple years on tour, but I make sure I hit the body weight goal of protein per day, so 200 grams of protein per day, because I do yoga, kettlebell lifting, Brazilian jiu-jitsu while on the road as well. Anywhere from 5 to 8 hours before showtime, I do an hour-long vocal warm-up. Now, I know that sounds super long and super far away from the show, but for some reason it works for me, and it yields the best results. So I'll do that 5 to 8 hour before, full warm-up for myself. An hour before the show, we have this rig called the Pig Pen, because we nicknamed our drummer. First he was called the Hog, then a Pig, then the Pig Pen. So we rehearse an hour as a band as well. An hour and a half before the show, backstage. So we're super, super tight for the show, every show.
Love that, love that. Well, that's why you guys are so good. All right, it's gonna be so awesome, Matt. It was a pleasure, talking to you, chatting with you on this one. Let's go and put up a little information. Here it is right here, the Poisoned Ascendancy Tour. It's gonna be on April 4th at 6:30 at Hard Rock Live, which we love. It's an awesome venue to go check out. It is Trivium. And before we let you go, let's bring in, of course, our lead singer here at Studio 40 Live. It is our good buddy Jacob right here, and I want you to meet him because he's with Tomb of Minerva. Come on in a little closer there, Jacob. You got to stand on your spot, buddy. He's normally telling me where to stand. He wants to say hi to you.
Yeah, man. Awesome, man. Thanks so much for coming on the show, man. I'm super looking forward to the show. I'm going to be there. It's going to be epic.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, please make sure you come say hello. I'd love to meet you guys. I love the shirt. Thank you for being with us for all these years, man. I know if it's a Shogun shirt and it's worn like that, it's been around for a while.
That's how it works. All right, let's do it. Yeah. We're rocking on, right? Rock on.
Friends.
All right. Thanks again.
Thanks, Matt.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon, okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Absolutely.
All right, later, my friends.